So Arena is gonna be the map, and it's gonna be a PvP, the first PvP of the night, and the last PvP of the night. But it might as well be the last PvP in the world, because this will decide who is the best Protoss player
In Europe?
in Europe. Not really, but you know.
Sort of.
Sort
Kind of.
Not really. Like one of the best for sure. Arguably two of the very, very, very best. So, in the bottom left-hand side of the map, playing from Korea, it is Invasion's Harstem, also known as Kevin the Koning or the Vlaardingen Giant.
Is he?
Yep. And in the top left-hand side of the map, to many known as Lil Bonaparte, from Viva la France, it is Lilbow. Two very nice guys. Harstem has stayed at the house, at the root house for a while, so I've gotten to hang out with him a lot, and he's a close friend. Lilbow I met at BlizzCon and had a great time, and he might actually visit the house at some point this year, so that'll be really cool too. In terms of openers, they're pretty much mirroring each other, tit for tat, blow for blow, eye for an eye.
This is how most PvPs look. We'll see if it enters the mid stages of the game, because it's pretty interesting. A lot of blink stalkers, a lot of instructors, and a lot of oracles.
Especially if it's eye for an eye, they'll be more likely to blink.
Yeah. You know, because... Oh, am I supposed to go, heh?
Huh?
Huh?
What?
What?
Huh? So it looks like they're probably both gonna open adepts here, right? Because neither one is producing off of their first gateway and adding a second gateway. Do you think it could be stalkers instead?
I would say stalkers.
Really, I would say adepts.
I don't want to make a bet because I
$5.
don't want to be in a debt.
$5.
Because I want to win back.
Oh, too late. Stalkers got started. Oh, you would have made $5
feels
back.
bad, man.
Oh, I mean, you were watching Protoss streams. You were watching this guy's streams, right?
Yeah, but no, some people do go adepts.
Yeah. Okay.
So I couldn't make like I thought I knew what I was talking about before, but obviously that's just throw that out the window.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, right after this, we might just go to Wendy's, get myself a 4 for 4.
Yeah. On
your dime.
Are they open for breakfast?
No, they're not. They open at like 9. 8. Anyway, again, pretty much mirror builds. I apologize for my lack of expertise in Protoss play.
Game paused.
But now
Calls coming from Lilbow. Hotkey. So we're having some hotkey issues. So, what do you think, Taylor?
He probably hasn't played NA that much since this is the NA server and he's an EU player. He probably plays EU or KR. So he probably doesn't have all his hotkeys set up, and I don't think they transfer over from region, do they?
I thought they did. I thought they were account by account. Maybe not.
Maybe he just doesn't use it. But it looks like he got it fixed. So
he got it fixed pretty quick.
Back to the game we go.
Back to the game we go. 2 stalkers are gonna move out for both players, so we'll see if they're looking to trade blows here.
Literally.
Lilbow will be getting the earlier expansion, despite Harstem having the actual faster scouting information. So Harstem will potentially be scouting this, and he just doesn't want to overcommit, especially upper ramp, because there's a, he won't have vision going up the ramp right away, and that means that if his opponent stutter steps perfectly and he commits
he'll have
to just
the first
peeking
shots.
in. Yeah, not just that, but the stalkers will potentially get caught by this 4 stalkers, probably 2-shot or something like that. So got to be pretty careful, and instead he sends a probe and confirms that it is a Nexus indeed. So Harstem actually dropping his own Nexus speaks to his confidence, really, because he was already, and I mean that in a good way, like I think he's confident enough to be like, okay, my Nexus is a little bit behind Lilbow, but I'll still
I'll still win.
Yeah, like I'll still go for it. So he is being the safer player. He did drop the Robo earlier. He is dropping the faster tech in the Twilight Council, and actually going for an Observer first as well. So he's gonna have a little bit more information than Lilbow. He did cut, so like if you're thinking, okay, like that's a lot of things to trade in for a slightly later Nexus. Yeah, he cut down a couple stalkers early on. So had Lilbow pushed out, that could have been dangerous for Harstem, but of course Lilbow was never going to push out while taking such a greedy expansion.
Yeah, because you'd always think that you're either defending an all-in, or one base all-in, or they're just going to take a layer Nexus. Either way, there's no point to move out.
Indeed. Plus the Mothership Core and the pilots are pretty powerful. But no! Harstem's gonna get one stalker picked off right away. And this could be really, really bad for him. Lilbow focusing on the pilots, and that's brilliant because the photon overcharge is not gonna be used or useful for Harstem here. Now here it comes, but a little bit late. Still, that photon overcharge kills one sentry, but that's not gonna be enough. Another stalker well focused down by Lilbow, and this might just be lights out for Harstem, who is gonna Lilbow's just gonna snowball out of control, and that's gonna be game one pretty fast. Harstem being in Korea, type WW instead of GG.
Very traditional, like very. He's embracing Korean culture.
Yeah, or he's just used to typing WW. Either or. You're Korean, kind of.
I mean, I'm pretty white. I mean,
You're not white.
I mean, I pick pasta over rice.
That doesn't mean you're white.
Well,
Am I white, Taylor?
do you eat rice
I eat
over
rice, yeah.
pasta?
I love rice.
Okay, I'm just a Twinkie.
Wouldn't you be Italian if you pick pasta?
I
By
mean,
that logic? Is it like are you the race of what you eat?
no, I'm just saying like
We are what we eat.
I'm
is the same.
whitewashed. I'm whitewashed.
Okay, fair enough. Well, yeah. Taylor was born in Korea but moved very early on. You don't really remember Korea at all,
No,
right? Yeah.
no, I was adopted. My parents are white, so it's like I'm super whitewashed.
Fair enough.
Like I don't listen to K-pop.
You don't listen to K-pop?
I do now and then.
Hmm.
Like it's like sometimes I do. Like when
Yeah.
I watch a lot of GSLs or something. But yeah.
To get hyped?
Yeah, exactly. But pretty much I just listen to like rock and hip hop and you know.
Country music?
Yeah, I do listen to country.
Okay, so you're pretty white.
Yeah, like I grew up pretty much in the Pacific, the Midwest.
Are
and
you a
the
fan
East
of
Coast.
Blake Shelton?
No,
What?
no. Like,
He's like the
Luke
only
Bryan
country-
and stuff like party
I don't know
country.
this.
Like if you go to like a Midwest house
What's
party.
party country music? Like Sweet Home Alabama?
No, I mean they
That
do
sounds like
play
party
that.
music.
That's like I
That's
guess
like what you
like
dance
you know what
to
Luke? Do you know
in
what
the, like wooden
like
floors?
Luke Bryan is and stuff like that?
No.
Okay, we'll have to listen.
I
to
know
some.
Blake Shelton.
Do you have song requests on? You have song requests on your stream.
Sometimes.
If you have it on, I'll song
I know
request.
Blake Shelton. I know that's it actually.
Like
yeah.
Luke Bryan, Florida George Line, and all that.
I know the Ring of Fire. What's his?
Johnny Cash.
Johnny
That's
Cash.
more like old country rock kind of stuff. Like, but yeah, Johnny Cash is really good.
Yeah, of course.
Who
Classic.
doesn't like Johnny Cash?
I'm sure a lot of people don't.
I mean, I'm just saying that like he's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I'm
He's one of the
saying.
best
Like,
yeah, like classic. He's like the Elvis of country music.
yeah. No ring of fire. No ring
The
of
ring of
fire.
The Ring of Fire.
Well, I mean, you have a tendency to like stick to one song on a day, like before BlizzCon, you were just singing that one Linkin Park song, One Step Closer,
Yeah,
and
of
you
course,
kept
man.
saying the same line over and over. I'm like,
And then I had to work through the concert. Esports life, man. Esports life.
but
So I never saw Linkin Park at BlizzCon. Sad times. We
Yeah.
are loaded into map 2, potentially the last map for today, boys and girls.
the sun rises as these two Protoss players battle each other.
Well, the sun is already up in Europe. And
But for us,
for us, the sun rises as these two players battle each other. Lilbow won the last game. So we are loaded in, and this map is going to be Orbital Shipyard. Good luck, says the player in the top right-hand side of the map. And it is going to be from Invasion Esports, Harstem. You introduce Lilbow.
and spawning in the bottom position of Orbital Shipyard, it is the red Protoss player, Lilbow. But yeah, pretty much like the lesson of last game, no pylons, GG. 'Cause
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the overcharge, like a lot of Protosses now
that
rely
was
on
pretty
it.
cool that he focused the pylons over the units.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, they deal so much.
yeah,
like,
he identified
oh
the threat right away.
gosh.
They're powerful. They're powerful for sure. The Mothership Core perhaps a little bit off position.
It was.
He was anticipating probably like something like
War
an
Prison.
Oracle or.
Well, he took the expansion though.
Yeah, still, I guess.
He might have been able to squeeze one out.
I don't know. I don't know how the Protoss works. I'm not gonna
I really
pretend
wanted
like
to
I
get
know.
to the mid game because I like the blink disruptors,
No,
blink,
this is-
blink
this is
stalkers
weird.
and
What's-
disruptors.
This is weird to mine the gas with one probe at a time. It seems like you probably can
Economic.
delay it. Yeah, if you're gonna do that, but
He wants to just get it rolling, you know.
Yeah, it probably doesn't affect the timings at all if he's doing it this way.
Well, both of these players have to assume, like, they don't have to assume, but it, like, there's a back expansion, and it's a pretty skinny ramp. You pretty much defend it a lot easier than you would a wide ramp on Arena, so...
Yeah, I mean, Lilbow went for a Nexus first, very gutsy. And then is adding 2 gauges. Where Harstem went for the standard 1 gate expand. So, I guess edge to Lilbow, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he got away with the screen. And we'll see if Harstem, when he scouts it, if he's going to try to put on pressure, or he's going to try to get ahead in other ways, whether it's upgrades or economy, or maybe just he will go for that push.
Well, yeah, he doesn't really have an option to get ahead in economy, right? So it's got to be...
Or he can play greedy.
Upgrades or maybe tech.
Greedy in some other way.
Yeah, maybe take a faster third or something like that. Sure. So we'll see how Harstem reacts to this upon scouting and figuring out what it is.
I mean, what do you expect? Like, harass-wise, Stargate?
Well, as we see a Stargate in the production tab, that would be my strongest guess right now.
I don't know, he could cancel it.
He could cancel it. I really doubt he will. But
yeah, I do too.
From the Stargate
anything
location,
can happen.
From the start, anything can happen. From the Stargate location, I think it could very well be Phoenix. That's a bold prediction, based on the location, right? Like, 'cause if it's an Oracle, you usually want your Stargate to poke forward, so that the Oracle has the least possible travel distance. So this could very well be Phoenix's.
Phoenix Wars.
It's possible. Phoenixes are pretty strong, especially on a map like this. And that I do know, but like, oh, it's an Oracle actually. Okay, fine, Harstem.
Because going to the mid game, stasis wards are really good.
Oh, stasis wards! I completely forgot.
Especially with disruptors. It's like bowling.
True that. And behind it, he's gonna drop a robo. But yeah, the longer the map, the better the fastest units are, because they can travel and cover more distance. So yeah, I thought that Phoenix would be a good choice, but not what Harstem had in mind. He's gonna go for an Oracle instead, and we're gonna see if he's able to find anything with it. It might be a case of needing the pylons for potential overcharge or something nearby.
Well, Lilbow has a pylon in his natural mineral line just for that.
Yeah. Just for the Oracle, just to overcharge it.
Yeah, because it's like perfectly positioned and everything.
It is actually perfectly positioned if we look at the pylon in his natural rock.
Lilbow's.
The beauty of it is that
And then
it's
natural.
Natural.
There you go.
The beauty of it is that it's actually not obstructing mining almost at all. Like
Really?
it's actually perfectly positioned.
But he's already got stalkers there, and he spots the Oracle.
Yeah, he's super ready.
Wow.
He actually gets revelation onto the observer.
That's
so
pretty cute.
I mean, I don't think it was aiming for it. But
No.
Yeah,
It's got like a little party hat on top of it now.
Yeah, it does. A special snowflake.
I think there should be skins for observers.
There should be skins for everything, right?
Yeah.
And then of course a photon overcharge, which no one ever cared about. It's 25 energy, so
Might as well
another
make it
photon
0.
overcharge, yeah, right.
Like, you can overcharge as many pylons as you have.
Might as well, like every pylon that you warp in should just
Great Wall
already
pylon.
be like should be permanently overcharged.
Great Wall pylon.
So Lilbow definitely with an advantage this game without a doubt. He's actually one pro behind somehow, but he... Wait, did Harstem take the faster third? He did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wow,
we
a
look at
lot
army
faster.
supply.
So, wow, Harstem actually somehow
You must
seems
been
to be
listening
pulling
to
ahead. Like, yeah. Oh, his Twilight Council on Forge, Rob from production, does point out that they are a lot later as well as his Blink. So, but again, on a map like this with such a long rush distance, I think I prefer his greedy opener. He's gonna spot that pylon right away. Now noticing it on the minimap, he's gonna pull back and try to find that probe. Lilbow hiding somewhere else, but that's not gonna work out for him either. So now Harstem taking down the probe. This pylon will be easy for the stalkers. If he wants to go first, Lilbow will just end up canceling it.
Yeah, he was gonna lose it.
Yeah, doesn't want to waste any money on that. So
He's getting
smarter by
excited.
him. Yeah, I mean that kind of play is always great because it's giving your opponent credit. Right?
Yeah.
It's like you're not gonna let that pylon live, so I'm not gonna let it finish because it's just gonna be a waste. Or if you don't, and you're like, oh, you may just like not have the APM or not want to commit to that. Maybe I'll just leave it there, and then maybe it'll do a lot, but most likely not. Another thing that pylon does do for Lilbow is it tells Harstem that he intends to be aggressive. Yeah. So Lilbow, I'm a little bit surprised actually that he's still trying here. Yeah. He does have a lot of blink stalkers, like you pointed out, and Harstem kind of.
But he has pylons.
Yeah. One thing that I would have liked from Harstem is to save that the immortal shields until they either lose their natural shields or
he tries to sneak in.
Yeah. So
like right there.
Now he doesn't have it. Yeah. Now he doesn't have it anymore, and that's gonna be painful. But the Photon overcharge once again being pretty strong, making more pylons. Lilbow actually focusing some of those immortals, and it seems like he might again like those immortals just dying after the
one immortal.
Yeah, that could be big. And now, see, like, that's where he should have used it.
He had to take a second volley, and they killed the other immortal. So Harstem,
his army's doing damage.
Great defense.
I wouldn't call it a great defense. Come on, like that was a big blunder to I think activate the.
I mean, he didn't die.
He didn't die.
If you don't die, it's a good defense. If you die, okay.
It's. I mean, it could have been a lot better, right? Like
yeah,
to a certain extent, reinforcing pylon or anything like that. Like that should have never worked. Yeah. So
he lives to fight another day. There we go.
Sure.
And
I just wouldn't call it a great defense.
Okay.
I think Harstem would agree with me that wasn't a great defense.
And then but I'm really intrigued because now we're gonna get into the Blink Stalkers, Disruptors, and it's really fun to watch these matches.
Yeah, Disruptors are so much fun. I don't know. A lot of people hate on Disruptors, but I actually think they're like one of the most fun units in the game because they're so fun to cast and to watch because they create so much tension and they can be amazing or they can completely suck and just suck in.
He lost to Oracle though, which means no Stasis Wars, which means no bowling.
Yeah.
I mean, I love bowling.
Why?
Especially with the Disruptor.
What's Stasis Word? What do you mean?
Because if you catch a bunch of Stalkers and you just time it perfectly, well, I'm sure these guys, since they are top Protosses, they can launch the Disruptor Bowl right.
I mean, they both have Blink though, so
it still happens. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, maybe. I just argue that you would have to time it actually 100%
perfectly,
like
these
not
guys
a millisecond later.
Pretty good.
I don't know if they can time it perfectly. That's all I'm saying. Like I don't know if anyone can. Just like to the millisecond, because otherwise the other player's gonna be spamming Blink out of it, right?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, Taylor.
I just wanted to see it.
Me too. Both players are taking a fourth. 69 probes for Lilbow. They're gonna find a stalker over there. He has a lot of stalkers, they both do, and Harstem now has disruptors, but again, both players have blink, so this should be a pretty cool battle micro swing.
One disruptor can change it all.
Oh, nice focus fire by Harstem, not even moving or blinking back. And no! The blink has been used. Oh, okay. that was a close call, Fox. Still, Lilbow did lose a disruptor, and I'm kind of surprised that he's still willing to engage here. Both players are pretty much even.
That was a scary blink forward.
Oh yeah.
Because any blink forward and one disruptor spells disaster.
Yeah. You can actually spell disaster with the same letters as disruptor.
I didn't.
You didn't?
No, I wasn't thinking that much into it.
No, I just made that up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I believed you.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah. So, that would be pretty cool, though.
That would be.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a War Prism posting a threat here by Lilbow, and we may not see it used. It's not that he forgot about it. It's that he's waiting for Harstem to make a move or commit onto a fight. And then when he's not looking, he will spread his attention. Right there, he's dropping the Zealots now and a Warpin as he sees Harstem move out. So both players are going to be... yeah, pulling the probes is really nice here as the Stalkers do damage. And, oh my god, the pilots are here. And both players, indeed, this is going to be a crazy base trade. This could get nasty. Now, Lilbow does have the supply advantage, and Harstem is focus firing the Disruptor then. Oh wow. Oh wow, that missed.
That didn't really, that didn't really hit anything.
Didn't hit anything somehow.
It was like right through the strike zone.
Yeah, I would like for Harstem to do the same thing, start using his disruptors to his advantage, start clearing the mineral lines a little bit earlier. Instead of he's using them to zone off, but that means that he's gonna get rid of Lilbow's economy a little bit slower than Lilbow will get rid of his economy, which in turn means that Lilbow will mine a little bit more and therefore be able to produce a few more units. So not sure about that move by Harstem. He's now evacuating the probes as he realizes that this is most likely going to end in a base trade. But Lilbow, with the supply advantage and with the army advantage, he's in a pretty good position here. The Disruptor's going for a cannon. Wow. Is there anything those units don't kill?
Ultras.
Ultras. So,
but Harstem does have a higher disruptor count.
True. True. That
One
could swing things.
disruptor shot can change
One disruptor shot can change everything. However, it's going to have to be a great one. And Lilbow is a great player, so all he has to do is be careful and you know, like, oh, no, ooh.
That was like bowling, like in that curve and everything.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, the bases are being shut down by Lilbow here, and actually Harstem's retaining one extra base. If he pulls back and he's able to defend, he's actually gonna potentially stabilize, despite being 40 supply behind. So yeah, cute moves by him here, especially pulling back. It's such a difficult decision.
And Lilbow is gonna pull back now.
Yeah. However, Lilbow does have 50 probes to Harstem 32. So by the time Lilbow's third comes online, his Harstem's economic lead, will have already.
But is Harstem making probes?
Harstem is
3 at a time too.
Yeah,
it's pretty significant.
Basically, Harstem has to defend, and I think that this could be an even game if Lilbow doesn't try to push his economic lead.
Mm-hmm.
And
it
I
looks like
Harstem,
he's lining up to do that now.
I mean, he's floating so many resources that he may think, you know, he may think about it twice before committing to an attack. Just simply because he's floating so many resources, right? So he has to be like, maybe I don't have an army lead right now if my opponent has been macroing properly. So he has to be pretty careful. And like you mentioned before, Harstem does have a lead in disruptors, and that could be.
I mean, he has enough to constantly be sending one down.
Yeah, and he probably should be. This Blink Stalker or this Stalker is just gonna poke in, gonna back manually, maybe waiting for Lilbow to blink before blinking back. But yeah, a pretty close game, pretty intense game so far. That the Observer actually getting taken down from Harstem is pretty huge. And, he's still trying to look for damage with those disruptors. Oh! What? That was a close call. Just run out of steam there.
I love these.
Yeah, I love that Harstem's pulling one Stalker forward and blinking one Stalker forward just to give the rest of the army a heads up if there is a disruptor shot on the way, and Lilbow not doing the same exact thing. So very well done by both players, and this game is starting to stabilize. Harstem again with the probe disadvantage and the economical disadvantage, but a faster fourth from him is gonna be able to keep him in the game. And Lilbow, as he spends his three disruptors at a time. Damn, that's a heavy investment as well for Lilbow into the Robo. But yeah, Harstem does have the disruptor lead here, and actually if we look at the armies, Harstem is ahead in, or at least gas-wise, so it's pretty even army supplies, but Harstem has the better tech in his army. So Lilbow has to be careful, but once those 3 disruptors enter the fray, which they now have, it's going to be increasingly hard for Harstem to do anything. Now, what is Harstem's win condition in this game, Taylor? Oh no! What was that about? Oh, DTs.
Oh,
so he killed a few of us.
What a genius.
Yeah. But he didn't get rid of it, but that was the right call. So yeah, Lilbow not mining with a lot of his probes. That's gonna mean that Harstem is actually mining a lot more than Lilbow right now. Lilbow needs to realize this. Press the F1 key or whatever he has a hotkey to, and yeah, start mining with those, because otherwise he's gonna be in trouble. Harstem's quickly catching up, and also an important thing to notice is Harstem's win condition potentially becomes the fact that he actually has less workers. That means that by the time they get maxed out,
he has a bigger army.
Wow, thank you, Taylor.
Oh, and that's those are nice pickoffs too, like any
really
disruptors.
Good. Yeah, very, very good. So yeah, I think that Harstem is just gonna...
He's crawling his way back.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is a pretty even game, and he's actually getting the temper tech while Lilbow is choosing to go for the fleet beacon. Is that for carriers?
I don't think he has the economy behind this. He's mining one.
What is it for? The fleet beacon.
For I have no idea actually.
I have no idea.
Like, and he's mining one probe at his new expansion. He should be transferring those probes over. Like,
yeah.
Big mistake from there. Huge
mistake. And Harstem for the first time in the game with a big lead, but disruptors, like you said, could change everything. Harstem actually
he's
getting the
getting
better edge, but he's in
cornered.
a corner. Oh!
Oh, Mom
He
Spaghetti,
is indeed-
disruptors,
oh my god! Oh, the disruptors fall down! Taylor!
Oh!
The Harstem!
Yeah, oh my gosh.
The Harstem! He was the one cornered. I thought he
Yeah.
was screwed.
But all of Lilbow's disruptors were clumped together. Like, those guys like to clump together really easily. And I don't know, I'm just speechless. Like, those
What
are...
a fight. That's why I love
Ends in
disruptors. So
seconds.
they're actually like so like exciting. Like I'm really awful at faking excitement, so like a lot of the time people are like, "Oh, you're boring." Oh, fuck you. But you know, that was actually
I Craigasmed pretty hard.
I Craigasmed, yeah. Like that was crazy. Like disruptors are so much fun to watch. Like they're such swingy units. They can get you back into a game or like lose you a game. by
You know
being
when
efficient,
a
so.
Terran player and a Zerg player both Craigasm over a PvP?
Yeah.
It's a good...
It's a good, yeah. I love the disruptor design, to be honest, and can't wait for game 3, guys. So to close things off today, we're gonna have a full best of 3 between two of the best Protosses in Europe. Lilbow actually with a pretty significant lead there, and Harstem with great decision making, especially pulling back his army, identifying that he had two or an extra base compared to Lilbow. If he could defend that, that was his win condition at that point, or at least what would allow him to stay in the game. Having lost far more probes than Lilbow
And just
did.
being able to disrupt the economy of Lilbow, and having those idle probes was
Idle
a
probes were
big deal.
huge,
And
yeah.
they like it wouldn't matter that much if the probes were some probes are already mining that fourth base for Lilbow, but one probe was mining minerals, and he was going to double Stargate.
Arguably, though, I think that the engagement, as well as it went for Harstem, those probes may not have made a difference anyway.
Oh yeah,
Like they would have meant a few more stalkers at that point in time, and I don't think that would have swung the game in Lilbow's favor. But regardless, disruptors were amazing. Wow.
Mom Spaghetti.
Mom Spaghetti. Ruins of Serra's Mom Spaghetti is the last map. And this should be pretty awesome.
Harstem needed a second.
So Harstem needs a second. That's a second where you can go and set up an account at esportgaming.com/root. So you might be like, oh my god, like I would have predicted all of these matches today. I would have made so much money, man. I should have bet. Well, you still got tomorrow, dog. So go set up an account and
Has there been any upsets? Like big upsets where
Destiny
payouts?
beat Huck.
Oh yeah, that's
2-0.
a huge,
Hello?
That's a huge one. Besides that
I
though,
think the odds were like very, very, very good for that too.
I don't think they were that great because I set them. Like they asked me like what I thought the odds were. Yeah. So
you had that much confidence.
I didn't have that much confidence. I think it was like 60-40 or something like that, or 65-35. I think it's fair because Destiny is really good right now. But yeah, we're about to go into the final game. The stream has been running for nearly 6-something hours of non-stop talking, so I apologize.
I don't even
if
stream for this long.
Yeah, I do sometimes. But
Thanks
yeah,
to
feel free
Rob.
to hit the follow button if you enjoy the stream. And in my personal stream now, a personal plug, I guess, while we kill time, I've been doing a lot more educational content, trying to, provide insightful feedback or insight into how I approach the game and how I think the game should be approached from a certain perspective. But also we analyze a lot of replays from Terran and Protoss' perspectives on what they could have done better or what my mistakes were in turn. So yeah, if you enjoy that kind of stuff, I'm doing a lot of it on this same stream on different days, on pretty much every day. So feel free to come and check me out next time. Now we are loading into Ruins of Serras again for the last game of the
Final
day.
game.
Hopefully you guys have enjoyed today, and feel free to please spread the word.
Preach it.
Yeah, preach it. Let people know about the tournament. Hopefully the cast wasn't too cringe for you. And yeah, I think Taylor and I had
I think
a great
this is the
time.
most hyped we've been. Like the last, like a PvP. Who would know? Like that we'd
Absolutely.
be the most hyped for a PvP.
It's pretty hype.
Yeah.
I was pretty hyped for the Destiny matches, and the Mana against Pold was really good. We've had a lot of really good matches today. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. Even the Solar versus Euthermal was really close. MC versus Jim Rising, that second game was great. So all in all, a pretty great day of Legacy of the Void. Rob from production, of course, thank you very much to him. You guys always show him love, and yeah, he's the best at what he does. So he's always producing and you know, sitting in production. So.
The final time to introduce these players, spawning in the bottom left position, representing Invasion Esports. It is the pink Protoss player, Harstem.
The Vlardigan Giant. Biggest lips in esports, probably.
Probably, I would
Probably
say,
by
most
far.
likely, yeah.
Fantastic lips. And then in the top right-hand side, the man himself. In Heart of the Swarm, he was known as the best foreigner towards the end. Now he has to fight for that title. It is Lilbow, as the Red Protoss player playing for Millennium. What a match. And this time around, we have Harstem being the greedy player, where
Yep.
Lilbow has been taking that role in the previous 2 games. So Lilbow is taking the third game and saying, I'm not going to take any risks in the third game, while Harstem is getting a read potentially off of the 2 previous games and saying, okay, like you've been pretty greedy both games.
Yeah.
I'll do that too.
These
I don't
mind
want
games,
to.
so-
I don't want to be the aggressor here. So Harstem arguably getting
Wow.
the better end, and he's actually going to scout and will potentially scout a very early Stargate by Lilbow, and that's great information for Harstem. Has he seen it yet?
Nope.
The Stargate. He ain't seen it. Where is that Stargate anyway? Oh, it's proxied on Lilbow's natural. Now, usually there's a tell for Protoss players on whether if there is a Stargate on the way or not, and that is the lack of a third pylon, right?
Yeah.
So
And you went for Adepts instead of Stalkers.
yeah, so Harstem potentially has to account for a Stargate that's proxied somewhere. Now, how do you account for a Stargate? You don't have to. You have pylons. So I'm not sure why people still go Stargate. There must be something else to it. Again, I'm not a Protoss expert, so please don't take anything I say. Face value, is that the...
Ah.
Bah. And yeah, Lilbow faking a little bit of aggression here with the pylon. I don't think he has any intention of using that, though his work rate is almost done, so maybe he does. Now this is pretty cute. Actually, this might be the plan. If he can force out enough photon overcharges before the what's his face?
Oracle?
The Oracle pops up, that could be huge. Actually, a probe. If Harstem had pulled the probes there, he could have killed that adept in just 2 shots. So that could have been an option. Instead, he chooses to run them back, and that's probably the better choice anyway.
Lilbow is actually going for 2 more gateways, so this is going
Wow.
to be a 1 base
Wow.
aggressive push.
Damn! So, Harstem forced to make a pylon there in the front. He does have a lot of stalkers back there. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think Lilbow wants to engage into that. Maybe Harstem needs a few more pylons or something. I'm not sure. He also has stalkers in his main, ready for the potential Oracle, I believe. So that could be big. Do you think can Lilbow use Stasis' word offensively, maybe at the ramp to cut off reinforcements? And,
He could. He probably will just try to go for worker kills. Because if you're in 1 base,
Harstem is so well positioned though.
yeah. But I think that's the idea. Like this is clearly a super aggressive push. Like pretty
Yeah.
much all.
Here
in.
it comes. Here's the photon overcharge on one of the pylons. The second pylon is not yet up, so that's going to be a little bit of a difficult hold for Harstem. But both adepts falling, and now the Oracle is going into the main all the meanwhile, and it will find probe kills indeed, Taylor. There are still 2 stalkers there, so great. What's the word?
There's 2. There's 2.
Oh, whoa!
Wow.
There's 2. Harstem forced to pull all his stalkers. Is that a good idea? He knows that there's a threat at
Well, let's see what's
the
going to
natural
natural.
too. So I'm not sure about that. I feel like 2 stalkers were plenty to deal with that, because he just has to deflect it, right? He has the
He
advantage.
just has to
otherwise.
defend, yeah.
Yeah, all he has to do is defend it and not lose too many workers. But what an attack by Lilbow this has been, and it's immortal though.
Yeah.
That's gonna help a lot.
Also, not having a pylon at the ramp of the natural is a pretty big deal because you have that much DPS you can deal out before they can find vision of it. So
Yeah.
maybe Harstem gets another pylon. He is going to get
crazy
his
sentry.
sentry.
Crazy sentry. Yeah.
Yep.
good
But
parcel.
yeah,
And with this Immortal's DPS, I don't know, it seems like increasingly hard for Lilbow to try and attack up this ramp. I wouldn't mind if Harstem gave out the positioning a little bit easier here. Like, he's trying to hold this choke with less units than Lilbow has, but he does take care of the Oracles, and that means that the Mothership can be used in the defense now, where before it had to potentially sit at the main. He can bring whatever units he had at the main to defend for the Oracles to the expansion now upon taking those down. So there's the Mother Support. It's like, I am no longer needed in the main. And now the pylons are super powerful as well. With an Immortal here, things are looking pretty good for Harstem. Let's not forget he has 2 Nexi to Lilbow's 1.
Oh, that
and the
Immortal Shield.
now perfectly timed Immortal Shield. And I think that's going to spell the end of day 1 of our tournament, with Harstem advancing over Lilbow. Klappa, what a series, what a game. Harstem from Korea pulling his weight. The Vlardigan Giant does it again.
The double Oracle, though, was pretty scary.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
And what a time to strike.
I think maybe if Lilbow sent, like right when he sent the Oracles in, if he sent the Stalkers in and made Harstem try to split up his army, he could have won on both fronts.
Maybe, it's possible.
I think he panicked and sent his whole army into the main. We would have to rewatch it, but
we would have to rewatch it. But yeah, he did send a lot of his army. Still, like, he would have gained position, but I don't know, because like Harstem would have still had his entire army. So I'm not sure. Maybe he didn't want to commit. Maybe he was happy with the damage that he did with the Oracles.
And of course, pylons, you know.
Yeah. So all in all, a great day of Legacy of the Void. Thank you guys very much for watching. I was planning on streaming after, but I think I'm too tired for